A powerful influx of money while not doing much of anything. This thing is called the divine code of Nikola Tesla, or the code of the universe. Call it whatever you want. The most important thing is that you saw how it works. You take any bill, just keep in mind, you will need to spend it soon, today, or at the latest tomorrow. On this bill, you draw a symbol like this and the three numbers 3, 6, and 9. This is how it looks. Your task in the near future, ideally today, but at the latest tomorrow, is to spend this bill, use it on yourself. And the key, most important task, you should not think about where this money will come from or how much will come. You just do it and forget about it. The better you manage to forget about this little ritual, the more will eventually come to you. Well, he calls it the Nikola Tesla code. Firstly, I can just see Nikola Tesla's face watching this reel that teaches how to attract money using Nikola Tesla's method, especially since rituals are mixed in there too. And rituals according to Nikola Tesla, yes.
Poor Nikola Tesla.
I think he would definitely be very surprised.
Especially since Nikola Tesla himself died, almost in poverty. He was not a wealthy man.
Yes, exactly. Nikola Tesla, guys, look, we had a big research project on the age of the spirits with the alumni club at school. I might be revealing a little secret for the guys, yes, but Nikola Tesla's spirit is very mature, one of the most mature we've found, if it comes to that. Moreover, when we conducted experiments, we always did it in a blind test using the method of spirit age practice. This is a post-course direction for me. We conducted an analysis in total, just my wife and I, plus with the guys, of about 1,000 photographs. And it was necessary that the guys, or at least my wife and I, if we were doing it together, had to have a match in the blind test. You read it, but you don't reveal the result. And then you share it. So roughly speaking, it's on Monday at 4 o'clock and they all start posting their results. The matches should be at least 70 to 80%. Nikola Tesla is a very, very experienced spirit, a very mature soul, a very large soul, a powerful soul who came here with specific goals and tasks, who came here with a specific mission. He didn't have the idea of making money, and that's why he died. As you correctly noted, it wasn't about money, to put it mildly, because he didn't have such goals. He had a specific goal, a specific mission for this life, to conduct a certain spectrum of energy, to engage in specific activities, and to push science forward. He significantly pushed a certain egregore, which was very viscous and dense. He propelled it forward so much that it just, in general, surged ahead at full speed. Because of this, largely because of this, we experienced the semiconductor revolution, the electronics revolution, in the 20th century. Largely due to Tesla and those like him who pushed the egregore of science forward. This computer, this live broadcast, this recording here on these cameras became possible, in part, to a large extent actually, thanks to Nikola Tesla. So he definitely didn't have a mission to make money. That's why I laugh about it. If he saw that you could draw a little triangle, the Tesla code, and pay with that money, don't think yes that it will come to you.
But nevertheless, 3, 6, 9, do you know what he said? That if you knew the magnificence of the numbers 3, 6, 9, then you would know the key to the universe.
Yes, but it's not the key to getting 1,000 rubles.
But again, he came up with some idea, right? So there's something embedded in this idea. I mean, these numbers are really quite influential, if you can call them that. But people just used it in a way he didn't intend and not as he expected it to be.
Well, listen, you can attract money if you believe in the ritual. If you believe in the ritual, if it seems right to you and aligns with you, yes, with your psyche, you can really perform this ritual, but with the same success, you could go to a crossroads, spit over your left shoulder, and throw a rowan branch over your right shoulder. And what if a person believes, and what if some healer in the village told him that if you throw a rowan branch over your right shoulder, you'll earn 1 million? And if he really believes in it, guys, don't cut down the rowan bush. That's just an example.
Sorry, do you still think it's because the person believes? This ritual works not because it's 3, 6, 9, such numbers, but because there's simply belief?
That's true. If a person doesn't believe in 3, 6, 9, and they write 3, 6, 9 and send it, and there you go, like a skeptic. I'm a skeptic. I'll check it. Then 100% nothing will work. Depending on the strength of his skepticism, maybe he, for example, is a skeptic on the outside, but inside he's actually crossing himself and praying to everyone he can. In this regard, still, if he is truly a skeptic and he's absolutely sure that nothing will work, then nothing will work. Neither 3, 6, 9, nor 1, 2, 3. Because once again, guys, look, yes, with our inner space, we shape reality. We shape reality. We shape the surrounding world. What we sort of, how we are structured, and that's how we believe. Look, I can admit, and it's true that there are certain numbers, a kind of harmonious sequence. And 3 in general is a very harmonious number. And 3, which is kind of, you see, it's 3, me, essentially always adding 3. Well, that is 3, 6, 9. It's a complete global 3. That is, it's a 3 at the start, and then each time you add 3, and in total, 3 numbers. And essentially 3 actions from where we started, how we added, right? And 3 numbers in total, it also collectively gives 3. So there are 3s everywhere, and 3 is a powerful number. That is, in fact, under the number 3, not generally speaking, like we have earth, sky, underworld, right? High, middle, low. This world is largely built on the principle of the number 3. If you really, well, use these kinds of harmonious combinations and believe in it at least a little, then yes, you can attract money, but it's very important. If there is no money, well, how much can you attract? Well, 1,000 rubles might come to you. Well, 10,000, well, 100,000 maybe, right? But what I mean is that during rituals, on rituals, without addressing the reason why you don't have money, without removing the initial premises, the reason why you ended up in the reality where you don't have this money in this particular branch of reality. Rituals of this kind, they are like trying to revive an old motorcycle that seems to be starting, and it even seems like it's about to be start and sputters, releasing whole clouds of black smoke, and then stalls again.
I would say that this is a poor approach to one's life.
Yes, instead of trying to solve the problem, instead of, roughly speaking, tearing down the house and rebuilding it, you try to prop it up with another stick, so it doesn't fall during the next storm. Those people who constantly use rituals, some kind of money ceremonies, they generally live without money. Well, yes, after this ritual, they only go up a little and then down, and sometimes even deeper down than before. It's like, to restore some kind of difference. So it's like they soared up and then fell down. And it's not because the universe is evil or anything like that. I must say, the energy of money. This energy of money is the most benevolent energy. I can already see people throwing slippers at me, like these astral slippers. I have a bunch of texts on this topic. All the links are below in the blog. The energy of money is essentially the energy of exchange. It's the energy of exchange. It's artificial, yes, but it's the energy of exchange. And what do people who receive money feel? They feel joy. 90% of the people who receive money are not thieves, not fraudsters, not murderers, not arms suppliers or anything like that, right? They are just ordinary people. They feel genuine joy, in short. With this money, they buy themselves things, some pleasant things they like. Travel, I don't know, new cars, new experiences, a nice restaurant, and so on, right? And all of this accumulates. And people are empathetic beings. They feel it anyway. Therefore, in reality, working with the energy of money, it is very simple. Yes, they are worked through quite quickly. And honestly, I don't know a single person who truly started working on their money energy and didn't see improvement. I've never seen it. This can be done independently through the higher self. Please come to our school. We have separate blocks on the topic of money, right? This can be done through psychotherapy. If you start working through the causes, new ideas begin to come to you. You start changing your attitude towards things that previously seemed unchangeable to you. You receive some new creativity, right? Suddenly people start coming to you with some advice, some recommendations, some ideas, some collaborations, some, I don't know, new projects, depending on the field you work in. No rituals, not even super shamanic rituals will pull you out. But only if it's not some kind of super connection to an egregor. And I mean a tough egregor, like the kind that says, I'll give you a lot of money, but then you'll return your soul to me. Well, I'm speaking figuratively here. In this sense, maybe somewhere, yes, but you can achieve almost the same results through working on the cause.
Danila, also, if I may, one more question on this topic. In general, about numbers. Are these some kind of codes of our universe, or what are they? Because the matrix of fate, numerology works well, and it's as if everything in this world is written in numbers. And if that's the case, then it turns out these numbers really influence certain events and so on. If everything is so tied to numbers. What can you say about this?
Again, here you can approach in principle the higher self. Shall we go there?
Let's go there. I love this kind of thing. It's my favorite.
Let's
do it.
All right. Okay, fine. Again, I dive in, look around, come up, and describe. Numbers are definitely, absolutely clearly, absolutely precisely an artificial system. It's a truly artificial system that was created by ancient mathematicians to describe the structure of the universe, to describe its energy, its cause and effect relationships. And with just mathematics, you can calculate, for example, what is inside the earth, and even determine what substance is there. For instance, how many tons of it are there, right? Without looking inside, without weighing, just purely mathematically calculate. So numbers are a reflection of the universe in this form. You can, well, by the way, yes, there it is. I caught it. You can describe the universe with some colors painted, right? You can describe it with words. You can describe it with sound. You can describe it with numbers. Well, in essence, it's a language for describing the universe.
How interesting. That was my first thought when you started talking about the higher self. But for me, it was, like what? It's a way of expressing life, how it can express itself in what?
Well, yes. Moreover, look, actually, yes, through the higher self, answers sometimes come, including those that can also come from logic. When approaching, I completely eliminate the personality, the logic to zero. In general, it really is a language that describes the universe. And the universe has different laws. That is, you can use this language to describe some of the same substances within the planet, yes. And there are some more harmonious sequences, which again describe exactly how, a sound can be harmonious or it can be disharmonious. That is, you take two notes on the piano and they sound harmonious, but sometimes they can be jarring to the ear. This is actually a separate skill, by the way, determining consonant and dissonant sounding notes. The universe has a certain, let's say, harmoniously sounding flow. You can express it with the harmony of notes from some Mozart symphony, right? Who, according to legends, spent his whole life searching for the most harmoniously sounding notes. What was he trying to do? He was trying to express the harmony of the universe through sound. The same applies to this topic, right? That is, certain digital sequences express the harmony of the universe. By the way, 369 is quite a harmonious number. I'm looking at it right now. It's joyful, complete, bright. It's positive. So by tuning into this wave, you can indeed attract a little money to yourself if that's what you want. But again, without removing the cause, you won't attract anything globally in any case.
Danila, can you say something about the number 13? They say it's devilish.
Nope. Listen, well, it's quite even. Guys, those of you watching from the club, especially those who can really connect well with the higher self, please verify and write in the comments. It will be interesting. I don't see anything significant under the number 13, globally speaking. I mean, it's a bit tense, egregorially tense. Energetically, on the level of the universe, the number 13 doesn't describe anything bad. I can say this with absolute certainty, but it does have a certain egregorial vibration. on top of it.
Dear friends, I invite you all to my course with a personal vision, Return to the True Self. This course has been around for over 12 years. And recently we launched it in English with my complete personal vision in 6 modules, working with blocks, working with egregores, working with the ego, contacting the higher self. Answers to simple questions, answers to more complex questions. And then there's what we call the Great Journey. It's contact with space, contact with the planet, contact with God, contact with anything at your request through the higher self. Health, finances, relationships, purpose, past life. The course is available at any time. You can sign up for it using the link below this video. Come on over. I'll be waiting for you.